So this is the sixth chat I'm doing, looking at the mess in America and what it is, and some of how we got there. And at the moment, I'm talking about corporations and how their power, their accumulated power and wealth, leads to accumulated control of the entire country and the culture, and how pernicious and dangerous that is. Because the truth is, the bare, rude, crude truth is, the corporations have one agenda, and that's to make money for their shareholders. And the people who run the corporations have an even bigger agenda, which is to make even more money for themselves. The truth is, they don't give a damn about anything and anyone else. And it's so they then pour their money into politicians. And look, I don't know how intentional this is or how unconscious it is, but the pattern is obvious, that the power of corporations through political action and through political control and media control means that there's constant attack on any government and social expenditure of time, money, energy and resources towards the very things that support human beings in their humanity. So for example, the arts are attacked, and seen as a waste of money because they don't teach kids to be good producers, that it's liberal tripe, and so the arts get cut out of schools. Music's no longer taught in many schools at all in America. Arts and crafts aren't taught. Creative activities go by the wayside. And what you end up with is academic classes plus sports, because we know how important sport is in America as a opiate and a pseudo-religion. On the home front, parents are convinced that to be good parents, they have to buy better stuff for themselves and their kids, and to express love through stuff, because that's what good consumers do. The whole basis of a consumer culture is when money is valued as the value, or as I like to say, money is the one true God of America. And it's ironic that on some of the money it says "In God we trust," and I suggest that on the churches it should say "In money we trust." And it's also fascinating that most Americans don't know that that phrase "In God we trust" was only put on the money during the height of communist or anti-communist madness in the 50s, as an affirmation that we're not communists, we're good Christian soldiers. And there you go with separation of church and state again flying out the window and crashing in shame. So the corporations and the culture, more and more, if you look at it, and by the way, there's a fabulous book on the corporations, American corporation, called The Gangs of America. I mean, it's frightening history, and of course most Americans, and if you're an American, you're probably one of them, know virtually nothing of history, and especially American history, let alone world history, because you're not taught that. Because if you were taught that, you'd have a much more reality-based awareness of what you represent and your country represents in the world. This level of ignorance is so deep and so profound that 50% of Americans cannot find the United States of America on a world map. Most Americans have, and I've talked with hundreds of so-called educated Americans who have no clue about the real history of America, not even recent history, let alone going back any distance at all. And that serves corporations, it serves the consumer culture, because the dumber you are, the more controllable you are, the less you're thinking for yourself. Equally, the tireder you are, the less you're thinking for yourself and the more controllable you are. So most executives, most people I know in America work 50, sometimes 60, 70 hours a week, where in civilized countries 40 hours is the standard, and then you go home, whether you're an executive or whether you're a fireman or whatever. And the third rung of that is that if they're keeping, if you are propagandized to work hard, to earn more, to buy more. What that means is that parents are at work, to buy stuff, to give their kids, to show them they love them, rather than taking the time that it would take to earn that money to actually be at home with their kids and actually love them. So, as a lawyer friend of mine said, a vast majority of children in America are abandoned in their own homes. And that sets up a powerful dysfunction in relationships. It sets up a powerful dysfunction in the expectations around love and connection and intimacy and sharing and play and fun and all the other qualities that we consider human, because parents aren't at home to show and share those qualities with their kids.